Welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar. If you're eager to gain clarity, speak with unwavering confidence, and liberate those inner voices, you're in the perfect spot. My mission here is to empower you to break free, find fulfillment, and ignite your passion. You ready? It's time to say it out loud. I've put together a guide of my top 10 tested and proven to work practical strategies and habits to help bright women like you say no, set your boundaries right, live confidently, and build healthy relationships, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. This is a self-paced guide, and I can't wait for you to dig into it so you can start becoming your most confident self, because she's in there waiting for you. Head to the link in my show notes or go to vasavikumar.com/guide and grab it today. Welcome back to another episode of the Say It Out Loud podcast. It's me, Vasavi, and I am here joined by, who says joined with? I'm not joined with you. I'm joined by you. I'm joined by Sarah.
Me. Hi, everybody. I am Sarah Dixon, and I work with Vasavi as her, I'm not really sure of my title, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Cuddle Officer, Operations Manager, all the things, really. I provide all of the support.
Chief Sanity Officer, CSO.
I love it. CSO. I am Vasavi's CSO, and we are coming back with another episode.
Yes.
Of the Say It Out Loud podcast.
So let's get into it. Yeah, I know you have a bunch of stuff that we want to talk about today. So I just want to say to everyone, I wanted to have Sarah on here because I like having the back and forth. It's good for my energy to not just talk without the prompting. So I thought it would be good energy management for me. And who doesn't love a good conversation? And I love talking to Sarah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what we should touch on today is how to speak. And I'm quoting right now, quote unquote. I don't know if you can see my fingers, but I could speak to them all day words. So meaning like you hear somebody, whether that's, on a podcast or a movie, or you're talking to somebody and you're like, wow, not only do I love hearing their voice, but they're so inspirational and so just authentic and real, and damn, just that feeling of, wow.
That feeling of I could listen to them speak all day.
Yeah, that feeling of I could listen to them speak all day. So I kind of want to touch on that and, how you've gotten to that point and how we can help others do that, because it really plays into, how you help people and how you allow that, or not allow them, but support them in speaking courageously and more confident in their own voice.
So I want to first start off by saying why this is important. It is important that you learn to like and love the sound of your own voice. I've heard so many people say to me, so when I say so many, I've heard so many people say to me over the course of 11 years, I don't like the sound of my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I sound weird. And I'm like, do you
That's how I sound.
Yeah, that's how I sound. And it's like, the worst is when I see people's reactions to themselves on camera or on photo. And when I hear someone say something about themselves, that's straight up cruel, right? You would never utter those words to somebody that you love, right? And why is it okay for you to do that with yourself? So why we're talking about this is because it's your life. I don't know how else to say this. It's your life. This is our one shot. We've been blessed to have life. And so we got to use it and be the person that we were born to be. I don't need I don't need a bigger reason than that. This is our life.
Yeah.
So I want to start off by saying that. Is there
well, I just want to point out that I don't think we are born not loving ourselves.
Yeah.
I think not loving ourselves comes from different experiences that were presented to us, or that happened to us, or happened for us. I'm going to rephrase that, because I think everything in life happens for us, the good and the bad. Okay. Because we've both had some bad. We've also had some good. But I think that over the course of all of that stuff, we are the hardest on ourselves and the most unloving to ourselves. I mean, I speak guilty of this. So, I speak guilty of this for sure. But I think it's important to say that, we can flip the script.
Mhm.
We can change the perspective of how we think of ourselves, because no matter what happened or no matter what is happening, there's always a way to find love for yourself, even just a little bit.
Even just a little bit. See, here's where I love that you said this, and I love it exactly the way you just said it, even if it's just a little bit. We would never question with your kids, right? You have kids. You have two kids, right?
Mhm.
You would
Yeah.
never question the quantity of love that you give them.
Correct.
So I just want, I mean, and we've all done it with ourselves, but I love that you said it, because I've said this in some version to myself where, Vas, can you love yourself 1% more? I've said
For
that to
sure.
myself, Vas, you can love yourself 1% more. But when you really think about what you're saying, it's like, wait a minute, would I ever even have this conversation about my partner or my dog or, my friend or someone else? It's like, I would never even, the idea of, okay, I can love my dog 1% more. No, I love the hell out of my dog already.
Mhm.
So I'm just, if this resonates with you, I like, the fact that we even think that way, like, oh, come on, you can love yourself a little bit more. How about, why just a little bit more? Right? We got
Yeah.
to really even look at the words that we're speaking about ourselves. And this is exactly the kind of work that I do inside the Bold Voice training program, which starts in the fall.
Yeah.
So let's circle back, and I'd love you for you to take it from here when you were saying, how do we get people to listen, to want to listen to you? Right? Is that the
Mhm.
question?
Yeah, I think, well, yes. How do we get people to want to listen to you, speak? And also, how do you get comfortable listening to yourself?
Okay. First thing that came for me is, so when it comes to talking to yourself out loud, your second question is, how do you get used to talking to yourself?
Mhm.
For you to really know what's going on inside of your head and how you speak to yourself, you have to say it out loud. You have to say it, because that's the only way you're really going to be able to hear and feel how you're talking to yourself. And because words carry vibrations. So there are times where I have called myself atrocious things, like really awful things that I don't need to be repeating, because quite frankly, I don't want to use my mouth to utter those words again. I don't want those words to pass through my
Mhm.
mouth. I don't want to speak words, even if they were from the past, that are unkind in nature. I don't want to feel the
Mhm.
vibration of those words. So we have to say them out loud, because that's the only way we're going to be able to hear and feel like, oh man, I need to not be talking to myself in this way. I also want
Yeah.
to say, if you've been taught to be strong and suck it up and don't make a big deal, that it's going to be kind of weird for you to start being kinder to yourself. It's going to feel weird for you to be softer with yourself. It's going to feel weird for you to maybe give yourself the benefit of the doubt or trust yourself, because
Mhm.
we've been taught to do the opposite. So that's
Yeah.
the first thing that I want to say about
Yeah.
that.
So, speaking on, how we can trust ourselves and how, even just being or not allowing ourselves to speak unkind words, to really start on the path of loving ourselves. What are some simple ways that we can do that?
Oh man, I just had this conversation inside my Voxer group. I use Voxer with my Say It Out Loud alumni members. And I said, listen, when you want to make a decision, or when you're in the middle at a crossroads and you got to make a decision, right? The two questions that I recommended that everyone ask in the group, and this is what I asked myself: when I have to make a decision about something and my mind starts battling it out, like, oh, it can wait. Oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Or how do you know that this is going to work out? How do you know this is going to work out, Vas, if you make this investment, or if you do this thing, or if you, how do you know it's going to be okay? How do you know it's, what if it's not perfect? So I have a lot of these conflicting voices in my head that makes it really hard to make decisions sometimes. So I have a tendency to overthink. But the two questions that I ask to immediately kind of filter everything out, and it's really been helping, and I want to share it with all of you to start trusting yourself, is, am I worth it? And do I trust myself to make this decision and follow through? Right? Like, it's just a very simple question, two very simple questions. So for example, I just got a new website, rebrand, up level. It looks great. If you haven't already gone, go to vasavikumar.com. So I invested in that, right? I haven't invested in a new website or new photos in years. Okay. Because I was cleaning up my life. And I also have an opportunity to take new photos. And I was like, oh my God, there's a voice in my head that's like, oh, you're spending too much money on yourself. But I took my own advice and I asked myself, Vas, are you worth these new photos? And are you worth it, straight up? And do you trust yourself that this decision to get new photos, to take your website to another level, to really have it be the representation of you, because more people are going to be going to your site? Do you trust yourself that, like, what you're doing? And I was like, yes, I do. I'm not a newbie, And
Yeah.
so I decided to do it. And so to answer your question about how do we trust ourselves is ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the difficult question, right? And it's difficult because it forces you to be honest, and it's not always easy to be honest with yourself. That's why it doesn't have to be difficult, but it can be. Just ask yourself, do I think I'm worth this? And do I trust myself to follow through? Do I trust myself and this and in making this decision? And even if you're a little scared, and even if you're like, oh, there's a part of me that still doubts myself, then you can ask yourself a follow-up question. What would it take for you to not doubt? What would it take for you to have full faith in this decision? And then you get even more honest with yourself. So the answer to your question, Sarah, is to ask yourself the question, ask yourself questions, get curious with yourself so that you can become more honest with yourself. And what you're going to find out is that you do deep down, maybe very buried deeply inside of you, but you do believe that you're worth it and you do trust yourself very deep down.
Or else you wouldn't have had the thought, right? Or else you wouldn't have tried to think of the thing, or that wouldn't be a dream of yours, or that wouldn't even be a thought that had crossed your mind. If you didn't believe, if you didn't believe that you were even 2% possible of making it happen.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I also, can we talk about ease? And I want to tie this into our speaking. So have you ever been in a conversation with someone and it's just not flowing? And then you have been in a conversation with someone and the banter is just like, oh, it's great. It's like ping pong, And I feel like we make things really hard inside in our minds, then our body tenses up. And then when we speak, we're not clear. And if we could allow ourselves to believe for a second, maybe it's meant to be easy. Maybe this is supposed to be easy. Then, and by the way, can I just say, I'm like, damn, I'm going to take my own advice. No, this is really good. No, but it's good because no, stop. Don't get me, I'm going to get distracted now. Stop. But my point in saying this is this, okay? No, I'm seeing this for myself in real time. And I always promise everyone, for those of you listening, I'll always take you on the behind the scenes. I'm not going to come at you with like holier than thou vibes. And I'm laughing to myself because it's like, oh my God, it's so much easier to just speak and be and exist when we ask ourselves the question of like, why am I making this so hard right now? How do I make this easier? So do things with ease. And then when you speak, you're speaking from a place inside of you that's relaxed. And who doesn't want to hear a relaxed voice? And it's not just relaxed, because some voices are very loud and they're booming, but those are also extremely magnetic. For example, I'm not Christian, but I love TD Jakes' daughter, Sarah Jakes Robert. She's I guess she would be a pastor or a preacher. I mean, her words when she talks about, and she like reads from the Bible, and I'm not Christian at all, but I enjoy the way she speaks. And I also believe, that God is God. Like, it's more of it doesn't matter what scripture it comes from, it's the message that matters. she's really loud, but
Mhm.
but I love her. And here's why, because it doesn't matter whether your voice is relaxed or really loud or really fast or whatever. We as human beings want the truth. We want the truth. We
Yeah.
want the real you. And when you can feel when someone is speaking from their real self, that is
Mhm.
they're powered by something. And so it needs to feel easy. And that's
Yeah.
what we do inside the program. That's exactly what we do. You're practicing speaking more
Yeah.
and being more. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say also, like, speaking with passion,
Yeah. Thank you.
because
Oh, sorry. Why did I take that as a compliment?
well, I mean, I hear, okay, let me just say this really quick. I hear you speak with passion all the time. Like, I'm just
Oh,
used to you speaking with passion, but I think that you have done the work to make sure that nothing comes out of your mouth that is not real or not authentic or not passionate, you know? You have done that work. Why are you laughing so
I'm
much?
laughing because I'm thinking about like, you're so right. No matter what I mean, no, hold on.
It's true.
I
It's
feel
true.
like I need a lawyer right now. Let me say, when it comes to food, when it comes
I
to,
was just gonna say that.
yeah, when it
I
comes
was
to
just gonna
food,
say that.
when it comes to like traveling, when it comes to like ideas, when it comes to when I figure out a solution or about something, like, yeah, I'm really hyped up about it.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody is not on Vasavi's email list listening to the weekly voice notes, you need to do so because you want to hear her speak passionately in your ear for 2 minutes, then listen to those because those are her in her full. I don't know. It's you and I love it. I love it. I get the pleasure of seeing it before you guys do, but
I'm also laughing because I'm thinking to myself, Sarah, that was a really good closing of the loop because we're about
I
to
know,
wrap up
right?
the episode. Wait, you guys, there's so much to learn here. Not only is this conversation, I'm literally dissecting what's happening in the moment. The fact that you were able to just, and so this is another thing that I want to teach people, right? When you're speaking, knowing when to wrap it up, having an internal
Mhm.
clock. Also, I know that what you were doing was wrapping it up when you did that because I remember looking at the agenda for today's episode.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that's really good. So I just wanted to say I noticed that. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So everyone sign up for the weekly voice notes. I also really want to use that as an opportunity to answer your questions in 2 minutes or less. So,
Yes.
yeah, start listening to the weekly voice notes. And all you have to do is reply back to any of the
Yeah.
emails that you get and just say to Sarah, hey, can Vas answer this question on her next
Mhm.
weekly voice note, period. And I'd love to do that. So yeah, you can go to vasavikumar.com and sign up for that. And we'll also put this, the link to sign up for the weekly voice notes in the show notes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanna say too, just like a quick bold voice, little information piece. You speak or you learn about all of this in bold voice, and even like 10 times more than that. I haven't even gone through the program, but I know what it's about, and it is deep, y'all. Deep.
It's deep
Like
and
Texas
fun.
deep.
It's
It's deep and it's fun and it's informative and it's empowering.
and it's experiential. Can I just say that? And it's fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. So it's
Yeah.
very fun in terms of, I'm finally using breakout rooms in Zoom because I actually think that it'd be really beneficial for
Mhm.
people to get into pods. So we need
Yeah.
to figure out, I need you to help me figure out how to do pods, but I know I definitely want to do like a breakout session.
Yeah.
And there's going to be exercises, experiential stuff, and then we're connected throughout. So it's a very intimate group, 6 months. And so you can actually start signing up. We have a wait
Yeah,
list,
you
but
can.
it's, yeah. So we'll put all the links in the show notes. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I don't have anything left unsaid.
Yeah, neither do I. We've said it all out loud.
Yes. Say it out louder. Okay. So
Yeah.
what do we do from here? Okay, we're outroing. And so, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to another episode of Say It Out Loud podcast. Thank you for being here for a while and
Yeah.
being so loyal and listening and sharing. And I love your DMs. I love everything that comes through when I know that somebody's listening and it's impacting them. It makes me feel really good. It feels like, okay, I'm doing what I'm
Doing the
meant to be
thing.
doing. Yeah. So just thank you
Yeah.
so much. for tuning into another episode. And Sarah, thank you for coming on today as well.
Of course. Of course.
Catch you guys
Thank
next
you.
time. Bye.
If you love today's episode, then say it out loud. Subscribe, leave a review, and come say hi over on Instagram at My Name is Vasavi. Until next time, say it out loud.